Investors will be closely watching British Parliament today as Conservative rebel MPs attempt to block a no-deal Brexit. It's a showdown that could see Brexit delayed even further and its current government perhaps toppled. On Monday, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson threatened to call a snap election if Tory MPs opposed his plans to exit the EU with or without a deal. But Brexit turmoil has already dented business confidence so far. UK construction data released today showing that new construction activity in August saw its sharpest decline in over 10 years. Now, business activity fell for the fourth month in a row. And manufacturing activity released just yesterday saw it slow to its slowest pace in 7 years. Now, renewed pressure also sent equities declining in early morning trade today. The export-heavy FTSE 100 dropping in tandem with the pound's rout, losing some 0.3%. It's now sitting at 7,261. Now, for more on the latest, let's cross over to Ollie Barrett. He's live for us in London. Ollie, can you explain to us the significance of today's session in Parliament? There are efforts now to thwart this no-deal Brexit.
This is genuinely an historic week in the UK Parliament, genuinely uncharted waters. There are precedents that are being broken in Parliament this week, which we've never seen the like of before. The first stage of all of this is going to see MPs, some from the opposition parties, but some also from Boris Johnson's own Conservative Party, trying to take control of parliamentary business. If they succeed in doing that, if they win that vote, then the next stage of this would be to try and force through legislation which would force the Prime Minister to seek an extension to the Brexit process if a deal can't be reached with the European Union. As I say, genuinely unprecedented to see scenes like this unfolding in the House of Commons, and that's part of the reason it's incredibly difficult, therefore, to predict exactly what comes next. We could still see at some point a vote of no confidence in Boris Johnson's administration, an attempt to collapse the government. His government at the moment has a working majority of just one, so is in an incredibly precarious position already. But we are in for quite a few days here in London.
Ollie, an unprecedented situation indeed, but Boris Johnson seems almost unfazed by all of this, saying no ifs, no buts. You know, we are going to leave the EU October the 31st, and nobody wants an election. But what is he expecting here from this vote?
Certainly number 10 is pretty clear that this vote is going to be very, very close indeed. And it says that if Boris Johnson's government does lose this vote, then effectively that's going to be seen by the administration as a confidence issue. What that means is that the government is making it pretty clear that while Boris Johnson on the record is saying he does not want to hold a general election, behind closed doors preparations are being made to move in exactly that direction if Boris Johnson loses this vote. It certainly would be an outcome that many people have been predicting for some time, but we are certainly heading in towards the end game now. If Boris Johnson loses control of the parliamentary business and opposition MPs seize control of it, then I think we are almost certainly now heading to a period where as soon as Wednesday, Boris Johnson might try and seek a general election.
That was Ollie Barrett there in London.